everyone's here. We'll back up here now. Get the live chat up. We are good to go. So we got young boy Pete on here, and let's see, any bargains available for $350 per month? Yes, there are. There's some one bedrooms over at Florida Sun. Pete, let's see. I think there's a couple of people. There's one guy that was offering one for I think about $350, but I'm not sure if I think it's furnished. I think it's right around $350 for that furnished one over there. I'm not that up on those ones though, but we can look into it if you are interested. Okay, so we got those. Let's see. We gotta get going here. Let's see. Yeah, this week here we've been getting a lot of people asking me why I don't show. I want to discuss this a little bit. Why we don't show. Hold on a second. You guys are probably. There we go. Plugged in better. Somebody was asking why we don't show more stuff around town and around the Philippines. And we've done 900 videos, and apparently the guy didn't see the other stuff. But I had 3 people this week say, Steve, you need to show more than just that park. But we're an information channel. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Let's see, who else have we got on here? Smoky Mountain Modeler. Good evening, Steve. Nose is looking better. Yeah, it's all healed up. It's just still a little bit like kind of peeling just a hair. Let's see. And so we got Sinfuls on here. How you doing, Sinfuls? Sinfuls, give me a call tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday, because tomorrow's my birthday. Also, if you want to come over tomorrow, give me a yell, because we're having my birthday party. So if you want to come over tomorrow, come over at 3 o'clock, okay? And we'll see you there. You know how to get to my house, so you're welcome to come over tomorrow. Okay, I just want to let you know that. See, Smoky Mountain Model says, good morning, Sinfuls. But Sinfuls, if you can come, try to come over tomorrow. We've got a big bash going on. So, be a lot of people. Be crowded here, but we'll try to fit everybody in. It might be just like standing room only, but it'll be fun. Okay, sounds good, man. Let's see, we've got 14 people on here. But I want to get back to that about people asking me about showing more. We show stuff whenever we do travel. We've been traveling a lot in the car, but nothing really interesting to show you guys. See, Dickie Hurd says, good morning, Steve. How you doing, Dickie? Good to see you on here, man. Let's see. Who else we got on here? We got 14 people on here. 3 thumbs up already. Let's see. Sinful says, anyone need a ride from there? Most of the people got rides, I think. I think the guys over at Florida Sun, most of those guys all got rides, or they know how to get over here pretty easy. So it should be okay. But yeah, we have a big birthday bash for me tomorrow. I wasn't planning on having one, but my girlfriend kept pushing me. He said, hey, you got all the guys here. Why don't we do one? Actually, I might videotape part of it to show you guys out there. Some of you guys I know are far away, or you're back in the States or whatever. It would be kind of interesting. So we might videotape some of it. We'll see. We'll see. Diamonds and Legends says, hi, Steve. I thought for sure you would be spending your time singing karaoke. No, my girlfriend told me we're just going to use it for when we have get-togethers and stuff like that, which is good. I'm happy. And she says she's going to use it once in a while when she feels like singing, because she does like singing. So I'll let that go. So as long as it's not every day, that would kill me. Let's see. Michael L. says, good evening, Stephen. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you on here, man. Sinfuls, well, I invited you to mine. LOL. Okay, whenever that may be. Pete says, happy birthday to you. Thanks, Pete. Smoky Mountain Mauler says, let me see. We have to celebrate your birthday, Steve, next year. That's my 60th birthday next year. Scott says, the great Steve. Thanks, man. Darren Cooper says, hey, Steve, what's the skinny? Happy birthday for tomorrow. Big 6-0. No, it's not. It's 59. So, Wiley Coyote, happy birthday, Steve. Mine was 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Erin go bra. Sinful says, it's past now. Let's see. That's okay. Next year. Scott says, Steve, do we need government? Can we have a world system run by regular people? I don't know. Pete says, Steve, you don't look a day over 45. Darren, I just want to let you know we got more people going your way. Whole bunch of people. I just heard somebody else just moved in there too. So we got a lot of people over your way. I don't know where he moved or his name or anything. Somebody just told me somebody just moved in there, and it was an expat. So, but we have a big crew over at your place. So let's see. Smoky Mountain Model says, you're still a pup, Steve. Thanks, man. Yeah, actually, for an expat, I am. I'm probably one of the younger expats over here. Dickie Hertz says, 59, I have food in the fridge older than you. Thanks, man. Let's see. Sinful says, mine is March 9th, 60. There you go. Let's see. Mag says, thanks for the live stream. Happy birthday, sir. Thank you, man. Michael says, I have been banned from the karaoke machine as I have absolutely no singing ability. I can sing a little bit on some songs, but other songs I can't really sing that great, you know? So, let's see. Who else we got on here? We got 22 people on here, so we'll wait till we get a couple more. Let's get some more things. See, Darren says, damn, dude, that makes 8 here now. With Brooke next week will be 9. I'm not sure how many you got in here, but over there, but you got a lot. There's a lot of people moving in over there. And there's some people that aren't telling me that they're moving in there. So I think it's more than 8 over there. We'll see. You know. Sinful says, me either, Michael, no ability. Let's see. Joe Cunningham says, mine was yesterday, the 18th. Blessed happy birthday. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Good to see you on here tonight. It's good to have some girls on here. You know. So it's always good to have some girls on here. Michael L., happy birthday, Stephen. Live long and prosper. Isn't that the thing where you go like that or something? I think it is. Let's see. Edward says, Filipinos love karaoke. Yes, they do. I don't. Let's see. J-Mag says, it must be hot and humid there in March. It is. It is a little bit hot and humid. Today was kind of a hot day. But fortunately, we have AC in the car and in the house, so that's good. And we got a cool breeze that blows through here all the time. See, SC Tsunami says, Michael L., since when lack of singing voice ever stopped someone from the karaoke? Darren Cooper says, notice a German guy here today. Darren, we actually have a German guy coming here tomorrow. A friend of mine named Klaus. He's a really nice guy, too. He's got a place here right in Tracy, too. He's a German-American, though. So we got a really good-sized crew. Plus, we got Justin, who lives right up the street here. We got Nathan. We got Kenny. And we got another guy moving next to SM, actually this Sunday. So we got a lot of people. I had somebody, actually 3 or 4 people have been saying that they're asking me, like, what am I talking about when I say there's a lot of people coming in here? There's a lot of people coming in here. I'm not sure where they're getting their numbers. I've had people throw out all kinds of different numbers, like 9,000, 7,000. We've had way more than that come in here. And I've also seen different numbers in the news. I've seen everything from 7,000 to over 40,000. So I'm not sure where the people are getting their numbers, but they're off. Because when I go to the mall, I'm seeing a lot of expats there, a lot of expats. And they're all newbies. And all the people that I'm seeing here are all newbies. They're people that are just coming in. I went to the PRA the other day, and the lady showed me the list there of all the people that I had sent. You know, and I was like kind of surprised at the amount of people that are coming in. And I saw all the people that I hadn't sent too. And I was like, that's a lot of people. So we had our channel on her list. I think probably about more than 50% of the people on that list were from this channel. I was really surprised at the amount of people that there was some people that didn't contact me that just contacted her and, you know, took care of everything through her, which saves me a lot of aggravation of helping those people because they did it on their own, which is great. But, you know, because we give everything out in the videos anyway. But I just thought it was interesting because there was a whole list, over 100 people on that list. And I was kind of blown away by the amount of people that are coming in. Let's see. SC Tsunami says, Michael L., since when lack of singing voice ever stopped someone from karaoke? Darren Cooper says, notice a German guy here today. Darren Cooper says, cool, I can speak fluent German too. Smoky Mountain Model says, when I'm alone in the dark, I sound like Pavarotti. There you go. Michael L. says, any Rammstein fans there? I'm not sure. Let's see. That's an old group, isn't it? Scott says, Darren, you're smart. Let's see. Joe Cunningham, just want to share that I was able to open a checking account with ATM with Charles Schwab online with 0 deposit. I won't get the card though until I deposit $100. That's good. You know, that Charles Schwab account's good. There's also the State Department Federal Credit Union, which is great for expats. So for you guys out there, look into that because that's meant for expats. It's actually for expats, but you have to pay $70 to join something before you can join it. And once you join, pay that $70 to join, you're in. So there's no worries. Job Mag says, have you felt the surging petrol prices and food costs going up? Yes. I was actually driving around tonight and I saw some prices into the 80s. I think the highest was the 80s. Most of the prices were in the 70s. I hope this doesn't keep this up tonight. This is not good. That's so Biden. You know something? Dimes and Legends, we are seeing a lot of people, and that's the number one complaint, is the state of the U.S., that they're moving here. That's the number one complaint, believe it or not. And I talk to a lot of people. When you talk to these people, actually tomorrow, if I can get somebody to interview, I might actually do that. I might actually do an interview with some of these people. So it'll be kind of cool. You can hear the stories. Dickie Hertz says, I speak okay Bavarian, lived in southern Germany for over 8 years. And Darren Cooper says, I love Ramstein. Let's see. Dean Thompson says, hey, brother, hope everything is doing okay. We're doing good, man. Thank you. Excuse me, guys. Joe Cunningham says, linked my credit union bank to my Schwab account to be able to transfer funds. Thanks for mentioning about Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is one of the accounts that everybody talks about. The majority of people do very well on that. And use your VPN sometimes to go on Charles Schwab. Because if you're doing trades and stuff and they see that you're doing trades outside the U.S., sometimes you can have problems. Some people do. But it is one of the better cards to have for money. So just be careful about doing brokerage trades, okay? ETFs, things like that. So just be careful. And make sure you have a good, solid American address for Charles Schwab, too. That's the other thing. Dickie Hertz says, I lived Birch's Garden in Chiemsee. I'm not that familiar with. I couldn't even pronounce those words. Smoky Mountain Mall. I opened a Schwab account a week ago, and my ATM card is in today's mail. That's awesome, man. You guys have a foot up when you get over here. Then Simple says it's 70.40 out near my house. Yeah, I saw it. It's like 82 at one gas station today, riding down to Rosario because we were dropping off one of the new expats. A new expat here today. He rented a place over in General Trias, and not at Florida Sun, but in another place that was open. And he's paying $300 a month for a 3-bedroom over there in a nice gated community. Does have a pool. He's looking to move over in our area because he wants to get one of the cheaper places and put the AC in and do all that. So at least he has a place to stay temporarily, and it's cheaper than a hotel, which is good. So we got him into a place temporarily till we can find a place in town here. So that's good. Let's see. 46 people, 12 thumbs up. Let's see. Dean Thompson says, 1 month, 9 days, 10 hours till I fly that way. There we go. Darren Cooper says, I did too, Dickie. I was near Stuttgart. Pete says, Steve, my budget is $754 US per month. Can it be done? I got to tell you something, Pete. That's really shaking the tree, man. You know, 754, not a good budget to come over here on. You know, you need emergency money and everything. Can it be done? I mean, I've talked about that before, and you know where I stand on that. I don't think anybody should come over here with less than 1,000. Actually, 12 probably. Better to be around 1,200 or 1,500 to be more exact. I tell people 1,500's the lowest I would go to come over here and be happy. 754, that's half of that. So you're not going to be happy because you're not going to be able to do anything with most of the expats around here. Tony Curley, what was the credit union that talked about? Okay, it's State Department Federal Credit Union. Okay, and you have to pay $70 to join some sort of organization, then they let you join the credit union after. And Kurt says, greetings from Texas. Love your channel. Thanks, Kurt. Cons2911 says, hit the likes, guys. Big John 55 says, flying excited, arriving in Manila Tuesday night, going to Tagaytay Saturday, gonna look for a place to stay 90 days. Big John, we still have that place, I believe, in Tagaytay for $600 a month, if that's what you're looking for. That place is actually still open. And it is a beautiful place. I will vouch for that place myself because I was tempted to grab it. That's how beautiful it was. I really liked it. The only thing I would have put in there is a jacuzzi, just so I have a place so you can keep cool in the water or whatever. I'd love to have something like that. Michael L says, Steve, try a hardwire connection between your router and the computer. It's it's the whole thing coming down. The whole line is shaky somewhere or something. We think we don't know. I keep complaining to them, but it keeps having problems, and it's usually on certain nights. Some nights I have no problems at all. Saturday nights I go on and boom, it starts having problems. So, but it just happens when it wants to happen. So, Tom Pierce says back from cold, wet Florida now in North Carolina for a while. Gas went up $1 in a 2 week period. That's crazy, man. Let's see. John McKenna says, where are you in Philly? Let's see. Travel Discovery says, hi, Steve. How much is an S&R membership? It's about 20. I think it's a little bit less than $20. I think it was like 700 we paid, 700 pesos, $14 or something like that. I think. It's been, I just joined. I should know, but I think it was like around 700 pesos or something. It's not that much. John Mag says, smash the like button for the channel. Tom Pear, what do you think about the Western Union app? Good, bad, easy. I like it. I'll tell you why. I transfer money from back home, okay, because I have my Western Union is a U.S. Western Union. I think some people have Philippine Western Union apps, and that's why they're paying so much money. You have to put the VPN on your phone, but if you're in the Philippines, download the American version of it, which Tom, you would probably have already. And I like it because it's 99 cents for me to transfer money. Yes, they do take a little bit off the when they transfer monies from dollars to pesos, but it's not that much. And for the safety and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. I'm happy with it 100%. I don't care what others say. I'm very happy with that. I love Western Union. Whenever I had a problem, I called them and they usually resolved it. Some people have had problems, but usually I think it's the user. If you know how to use it and you got it all set up right, after you use it for a year, they really don't pay that much attention to you because they see all the, that you're transferring money regularly. They know that they have your passport, stuff like that. They have a copy of your passport. It's safe. I don't worry about it. I actually like it. See, Bad Hand says 1,500 and you can live comfortably. Yes. No, I believe, yeah, I would agree with that. I think 1,500 here you can live very comfortably. Is it changing? Yes. That's why I say I kind of stick to that 1,500. Van Turner says, would 2,000 US dollars a month be doable? Absolutely. That's the beginning of the sweet spot. That's when you start getting a sweeter retirement. Okay, your retirement will be pretty decent at 2,000. 2,000 to 3,000, you got a great retirement. Well, you don't have to worry about spend anything. I'm in the upper part and a little bit over in the sweet spot. Okay, so, and I'm very happy, living there. I go out and do the things I want to do and stuff. So, I don't worry about stopping, going out to eat, or if I want to go over and run over and get a bag of subs for the family or something, I just do it. I go to Alabang. I enjoy life, so I'm happy. Michael L says, when one logs in and does trades and administration of one's American financial accounts should be done with a VPN with exit nodes in the States. That's it. Well, I was just talking about the VPN, Michael. Yes. You definitely should do a VPN at least some of the times when you're doing those trades to show that you're in the States sometimes. Because otherwise, they somehow they find out. I'm not sure how they find out, but a lot of the people over here that were doing had brokerage accounts in some different places. They had their accounts shut down, and I'm not quite sure why. I believe that they're picking it up somehow, and they know they're over here because those guys had U.S. addresses, and they got a notification. So I've been really lucky, because I did trades for quite a while, and they never bothered me through Ameritrade. So, let's see. John McKenna, hey, dude, can I rent for about 5,000 pesos? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can rent for 4,000 pesos. You can rent for 3,500. There's one down the street up here, John. Would I recommend that one? No, I would not. It's an okay place, and if you fix it up, you could make it nice. It's kind of in a I won't say it's a back alley because it's really not a back alley. It's kind of like a hidden area, and you have to kind of cut through the store to get there. Okay, and you just walk through and you walk down back, and it's It's a cute little place. It's doable. You could put AC in there and live for 3,500. It's a one bedroom. It needs some love and care. Like I tell people in my videos that if you give one of these places a lot of love and care, you can make it into a nice little pad. And there's some hidden gems out there. Would I recommend this particular one? Uh, it's okay. I mean, it's in our neighborhood too. It's actually in a good neighborhood. So I'm not gonna say it's in a bad neighborhood. It's just the area that it's in. I mean, if you see the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not perfect, but it's okay. If you're a person that stays in the house and stuff, yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Travel Discovery says, have you been to Ikea in Manila? No, I have not. Actually, I want to check that place out. I might go there and check it out myself, and give you guys the lowdown. Maybe I'll check it out. I know you have to do an appointment to get in there. Smoky Mountain Modelist says, I've set a budget for $1,500 a month living expenses and will have about $1,000 for savings. That's a good budget. I mean, you know how I talk about savings here, and I think everybody should have some sort of savings. See, Charlie says, Pisces are devoted team players and known for their intensity and spirituality. That's pretty true. I think I'm pretty intense. Actually, my doctor called me that the other day. He says, you're very intense, Steve. Because she was watching my videos and she says I'm intense. I said, I didn't think of myself as intense, but okay, I'll accept that. Michael L says, IKEA require assembly. There we go. Mark Mean says, if I sell my house and cash out my 401k in the U.S., should I transfer that entire amount to the PI? Are those banks trusted? No, I would not. I would not do that. Absolutely not. I would always keep about maybe 8,000 here in the bank, and that would be tops, and the rest keep in the U.S. and make it so that it's really easy to transfer that over if you need it for emergencies. I would keep some money around here in cash, hide it someplace. We did a thing way back where to hide cash. It's pretty, if you think about it, there's a lot of places to hide cash. You just have to know where to hide it. I'm not going to get into that too much here. You can go back and watch it. It's way back. I did a video on that. Sinful says, here, Celine, it has been slow for internet. Yeah, there's something about Saturdays here or something with the internet. I'm not sure what. But if I lose you guys tonight, I apologize already. I'll apologize in advance. Let's put it that way, because we did this a couple weeks ago and we got blown off the internet. So Lulu55 said, Travel Discovery, 700 pesos. Yes. That's what I thought it was. It was like 14 bucks or something like that. Michael L says, my budget is a base of 2,000 US dollars a month plus whatever extra I get from consultancy contracts. There you go. That's not bad. Mark, let's see. Bond says, Mark, you don't have to do that. It's easy to send money to the Philippines. If you can open a local account, then it's very easy. I do it often. I mean, for me, it's 99 cents through Western Union, so I don't complain about that. Dean Thompson says, Steve, will the local group be set up for Cavite area? What are you thinking? Our temporary housing is in Carmona. Everybody's going to be welcome to this group that lives in Cavite for sure, and I think that's what we're probably going to end up calling it, is the Cavite expat group. I have to have, soon we're going to have enough expats here that I can put somebody in charge. I'm waiting to find out who we have here that's kind of somebody that can be trusted and that's stable and is going to stay here. And that's what we need for as a moderator. So we'll see how that works out. And if I have somebody that wants to volunteer for it, then, by all means, I'd let somebody do that. And then what I can do is I'll advertise it on the channel. I don't think we should let everybody in. I think you should be a person that lives in Cavite. I don't think we should be letting all these girls on and stuff like that. I think it should just be for news and things like that. What's going on. Hey, I'm looking for a ride here. Anybody need a ride going up to MOA? I live in this area. If you need, I can stop by your house or whatever. Things like that. Or so-and-so is sick. Just want to let you guys know he could use somebody to stop in and say hi to him. He's, stuff like that. I think it'd be great to have something like that where we could have a group, because everybody on this channel is kind of close. I never really thought of everybody being close on the channel like that, but a lot of people talk to each other and have become friends. And the people that are coming here, they all know each other. It's really quickly too. And I was kind of surprised at that. And they knew of each other, some of them from being online and stuff like that. They were talking to each other. So it was really funny. Let's see. Sinful says, Charlie True, also, this is my year. I am a water tiger, so hoping investments fly. Lulu55 says, Van Turner 2000 is okay. Let's see. Mark Archer says, could a family of 5 live okay on $2,000? Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely, you could. That's not even an issue. If you live like a Filipino or even above that, you could live pretty good because you're on the sweet spot. And the sweet spots, you can do that. You can have a pretty good sized family on the sweet spot. On the lower end, you're gonna be, you're not gonna be able to live as happy as other people because you got the extra people in the family that you have to support and stuff. But yes, you could do it. Sure. That's actually not a bad place to be. $2,000 for a family of 5. And John McKenna says, how much is good health coverage? Well, John, it depends on your age. And when you hit the 70s, that's when it starts going sky high. But before then, it's okay. If you get a Pacific Cross plan, one of the peso plans, I call it, they have dollar plans for Westerners, and they have plans for Filipinos. Well, the Filipino plans are cheaper, and they don't give you as much coverage, but they will cover you to a certain extent for your needs. And, it's up to you how much coverage you really want. I think at some point, I'm probably going to switch to a better plan, and we'll see how that works out. Bad Hand says, most times it's less than $1,500 a month. I average about $900 to $1,000 a month. See, some people live on that, but they're staying home a lot. They're not getting out much. I'm out and about every day, and I spend a lot of money each month because of that. My girlfriend helps spend a lot of that money too. But we live pretty decent here, But we live for $80 a month. It gives us that much extra money. RLV says it's getting hot and humid here. Bring your sunscreen lotion. I actually just bought some today. So I bought a can of the spray-on stuff. Travel Discovery, it says message retracted. So I don't know what that's about. If you guys are looking for a good channel about the Philippines, Travel Discovery does some good stuff. You guys might want to check that out. And she can use some extra subscribers too. And she does a phenomenal job. And I'm not sure why she doesn't have as many people as she should. She's really, really good at what she does. Just check it out, and then you'll see. You'll be surprised too because she does really, really good vlogs. Michael says they find out because they know the IP you are logging in from. IPs can be geolocated. Yeah, that's. I know they can figure it out somehow. So, RLV says, and stay hydrated. Lloyd White says, would you recommend an e-visa before arrival? An e-visa. I'm not that familiar with that, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure what that is. I've never heard of an e-visa. But I haven't traveled in 4 years either. So, I never heard of that. Sinful says, Travel Discovery, my wife went on opening and it took 2 hours to get the meatballs. Ha ha ha. Let's see. Travel Discovery, what VPN company do you use? I use Tunnel Bear. Tunnel Bear has a free service that you can use, limited, and then it has a $60 a year service, or you can do it monthly and you pay more than the $60. So it's best to do the $60 or use the free one. I use it so little that the free one works fine for me. And I find that when I log into certain TV sites, as long as you use the VPN in the beginning, then you shut it off later, that's all that matters. So it gets you on there. Now, will that work for Netflix? No, probably not. But Netflix you can get on here anyway, but you're only going to get certain movies. But you get better movies if you're logged into the U.S. Kevin Gustafson says, how far away is Manila where you live? It's about 20 miles. Can you take a public bus there? Yes. Actually, I walk out my front door here. I take a right up to the street. I take a right and a left really, really quick. And I walk down this street called Crucillo Street. I walk up to the end and the buses go by there. So I can catch the buses before they get to the bus station down at Walter Mart here. So I can catch them before then. And they're empty. So, and they'll stop for you too if you wave them down. You just look for the sign that says PITX or Pasai or McLaren or whatever, and then you just go. Let's see. Dean Thompson says, I think I heard that Ikea is one of the largest. Definitely wanting to see it. I might go check it out. I heard they have a good restaurant there too. Michael L says, private internet access from my computer and my phone has the Google Fi VPN since I use Google Fi. Let's see. Sinful says, Mark Mean, here the FDIC equivalent is only 10K US dollars to insure accounts. I know it's pretty low. I'm not sure what it is, but that's another problem here too. I think it's more than that, but I could be wrong. But you might be right, Sinfuls. Michael L. There are probably lots of people using Wi-Fi, hence dropped packets, hence dropouts. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says, I use PIA also, great VPN. Cedric, I'm on the thing. Chud says, are there a lot of tattoo shops in Manila? Is that an accepted part of the culture there? I am heavily tattooed and thinking about moving to the Philippines. Actually, the mall here, one of the malls near SM Tracy here, has a very large tattoo shop here. I checked it out one time. I have a couple of I have a tattoo on my back. It says "Don't stop Belizeing," because I used to love going to Belize, and I used to love Journey, so I had that on my back and with a map of the island I used to go to there. So, but I have that tattoo on my back, and there are a lot of people that do like tattoos, and you do see them around here. They're quite common, not overly common, but they're around. Mark Mean says, do we have to be transparent to the U.S. bank while sending money to ourselves in the Philippines? This is in regards to the anti-money laundering laws. You know, they never bother you because you're sending less than 10,000, so it's not something you have to be really concerned about. Just keep it small amounts. That's what I tell people. I send myself never more than $1,000. I try to keep it $1,000 or less, and I transfer it to my bank over here, and usually it's from bank to bank. So it goes in over here, and then I use my ATM at my BDO account. So that's the way I do it. Michael says, Mark, if they ask, you must be truthful. Yes. You don't want to play with FATCA or anything like that. You got to be really, really careful about that stuff. I don't worry about it because I never go over that. I'm not really up on FATCA rules. But if any of you guys are going to be sending more than $10,000, make sure you check into FATCA. Okay, make sure you know the laws. Don't play with that. Let's see. Khan says, I wouldn't recommend someone new in the Philippines to take the bus. Those that go through EDSA are always packed like people standing. This is pre-COVID. Get familiar with that area first. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Because every time I take a bus here, it's not that crowded. Okay? Coming back, yeah, it can be pretty crowded sometimes. But if you're smart and you get on the bus, try to sit towards the front. And if you do go to the back and you're traveling for like an hour or two, as the seat's empty, keep moving forward on the bus so you're ready to get off. You know, you got a seat close to the front when you get ready to get off an hour later or whatever. Just keep moving to the front, slowly but surely. And if there's usually this, you and your girlfriend or you and your wife or something, just keep on doing it. You might be sitting in different chairs, but it really doesn't matter. You know, at least you're up by the front. Because otherwise you got to go through the sea of people sometimes, and it's just not worth it. And sometimes it's best just go take the vans. The vans are much better. I like the vans actually because I'll rent an extra seat so I have a seat empty next to me so I can put my knee up, you know, because I have problems with sciatica, and sometimes I just like to put my knee up there because it just makes it more comfortable. You know, and I can't keep my legs in front of me all the time, so it's just something I like to do. Lulu55 Chud, yes, easy to find tattoo shops all around here. Yes, it is. Mark Mean, thank you, Michael. It depends on the area you're in too, though. Joe Cunningham, do you suggest 2 U.S. bank accounts per person before heading there? My husband has one account for his SS. You know something, Joe? I was thinking about that the other day because I have one account, okay? I have one account, and then I have an Ameritrade account too, but, you know, I don't put any money in there. But I'm talking about bank account, you know, then I have the Ameritrade account too. which I could have my check go in there if I wanted to. But as far as paying bills and stuff, I don't have that. Wouldn't have that ability through Ameritrade, unless there's something on there that I don't know about. I haven't really looked into it that much because I don't use that account except for just trading stocks and stuff. So RLV, big time rollback on Tuesday around P10 diesel, P6 gas. I hope so. It would be nice. But to get back to you, Joe, I want to answer this question again. Yeah, I do think it's a good idea to have two in case one gets closed down for whatever reason or whatever, you know. So just FYI. Let's see, we got 81 people, 42 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Jimbo the Coastie. Mark, just talk to the bank manager and make prearranged instructions for wire and money transfers. Always get a name, phone number, and contact info. You know, Jimbo, I mean, I know that people do this stuff through their banks and stuff like that, for wire transfers and stuff like that. But some of the banks charge you $15 to do transfers. Some of them don't charge anything. You could do it from your home through Western Union literally for 99 cents. You know, and it's so easy. You just you can be sitting in your car doing it. It takes literally like that. Within 4 hours, it's in my account almost all the time. Usually within 2 or 3 hours. Okay, so it really works out good. So let's see, cons. Chud, if you travel and are staying a while, there's a tattoo artist. She is very old and a legend. Yes, there's a lady here that she's really, really old. I'm not sure if she's still doing it. I heard she is, and it's kind of expensive to see her. Let's see, John L. I can't remember her name. She's very popular here, though. I believe she's still doing it, and she has relatives that do it too. They were trained by her. John Allen says, "Hello, Steve. Arriving on 14th April to start my new life." Let's see. That's good. It's good to hear, John. We got a lot of people coming here. A lot of people. I'm not sure how people can say that there's hardly anybody coming in here. It's just they say it's drips coming in here. No, it's bigger than drips. I've read a couple of the stories that were out there. A couple of the articles. One of the articles was said 21,000 or something like that, and that was as of that date. And then I read another article that said it was like 70-something thousand or something like that. So I don't know which one's true, but somewhere in between there's the truth. So Jay says, "Good morning, Steve, and everyone from sunny California." So I don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore because from what I see here and what I'm seeing right here in Tracy, there's a lot of people flowing in here. See, Michael L. says, "E-Visa is for Nam." Okay. Yeah, I don't know that much about that. I've never heard that. I've heard of it vaguely before, but I don't know that much about it. I do not think the Philippines is that advanced yet. No, I doubt it. The Philippine bureaucracy is Byzantine and loves their paper. Cons 2911. Chud, check YouTube for Wang Odd. Yes, that's the name. Her name is something like that. Now that you mention it, but I don't think that's the way you spell it. There's a lot of videos on her too. Mark Mean says, "Jimbo the Coastie, thank you. I don't want my ATM card frozen." Ernest Connell, actually, if you want to save yourself from guys, here's the thing about. Let me explain this, okay? The best reason to transfer money by Western Union from the United States to here is this reason right here, okay? So let me go through this. The reason why I transfer money over here to use my ATM from BDO is if I lose my BDO card or if it gets frozen or eaten by an ATM, I can just walk into BDO and get another one. Okay, I might have to wait a couple days, but I'll get it. Or I can go into the bank and still take money out with my ID or what have you. If my card from the United States gets eaten, then I'm done because I have to wait for it to get sent to my sister. I have to wait for it about another 30 to 45 days to get here by mail. And that's how long it takes by mail, by the way. But, I mean, that's the problem. That's why I like Western Union for 99 cents. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of the guys here, they complain about 99 cents or $5 or $4 or $2 for sending money. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you're that worried about 99 cents or $5 or $10 or whatever, then you probably shouldn't be here. You know, and I know there's people on those lesser budgets, but I mean, you know, if you can't afford that, then you shouldn't be coming over here. It's just not a place to live cheap. So let's see. Ernest Connell says, how much are beers there? You know what? I pay like about 60 pesos, I think, somewhere around there for Heineken's, and I don't drink that much, so I just have like a couple here and there. Let's see, RLV. My Filipino budget per month is 40 to 50, okay, 800 to 1,000. That's livable, but it's really pushing it. I know people over here that do it, but they don't live well, you know. Jimbo the Coast, he says, Mark, tell them about your ATM card too. Make sure they won't freeze it. Excuse me, guys. Mark Mean says, since I'm going to keep my account in the U.S., would you recommend just using a postal annex address since I will be selling my house? No, Mark, I recommend using a relative or something like that, because some of these places that people use for an address and it looks like it's a real address, after a while the banks pick up on those because they see that more than one person has that address, and then it sends up a security flag, and then they know something's up. So be careful about that, because yeah, there are these places like that used to be like Mailbox, etc., or whatever you call them, you know, places like that. Be careful of those. You know, think they become the UPS store or something, because they look like a real address because it's going to an address and you say box 22 or something like that, and then they put it in box 22, but it's really not a home address, and they know that after a while. So you know, I'm just telling you guys, use a home address and be careful. You know, Sinful says that is what my BDO account for U.S. dollars is, anyways. I actually have pesos. Okay, and here's another thing. If you open a peso account in the Philippines, okay, when I transfer money from the U.S. to my peso account, they automatically transfer it in, guess what, in pesos. Because for some reason it can tell that it's a peso account. I'm not sure how. Maybe when I type in the Swift or whatever, it goes right in. And yeah, dollar account is great if you're transferring your pension over and you want the pension to go into that account. Then yeah, you can do it that way for sure. But you know, if you want to just transfer from your bank back home over to here, then definitely what I would do is just, you know, open a BDO peso account. Have the dollar account if you want to have your pension come over here. But if you just want to transfer it through Western Union from account to account, which you can do on the Western Union app, then it'll go through and it'll come over in pesos. Okay, because it works on mine and it gets transferred over, so you don't have to do all that transfer stuff. You know, because if you go to transfer $100 bills at the store here, you're going to pay a lot more than what you're paying for that transfer, because it's minimal. It's very minimal. I'm not sure what the amount is, but it's not that bad. So let's see. Syphilis is that. Let's see. John Allen says, I have a budget of $700 for rent. What can I get? You can get a beautiful place over in Tagaytay. There's one over there right now for $600 actually. Or you can go into a gated community here and get a really nice furnished apartment for $700. Really, really nice one, I might add. You can go on Trump Towers for about $1,400 up here in Manila, and I mean that. You can probably get like one bed, not a two bedroom, but a one bedroom or a studio in Trump Tower up in Manila. I think they they started about 1,200 or 1,400, somewhere around there. But just FYI. But I know you're on $700 budget. But I mean, $700 gets you a really good place here. You can get, you know, in Tagaytay, you could still get a nice place over there for that. Nice place. Like that place that I showed for $600. Maybe for $700, you'd probably get a little bit more space, or a 3-bedroom. Diamonds and Legends. Do any of your plans there cover prescriptions? Yes. Pacific Cross does. You can also contact Pacific Prime, and they'll give you 10 different quotes from 10 different companies, and most of those companies will cover prescriptions too. See, I am a vet but not service connected, so I am not eligible through the VA here. Not sure if I would trust mail service from the U.S. to the Philippines. No. Mail service here is very slow. Berto Seth says, regards from Gali Maldives. That's cool. I actually bought a lottery ticket. It cost me $50 one time for a resort that was being raffled off, because the guy wanted to raffle it off to people that really wanted the place. And I was one number away from winning that. One number. Me and my friend went halves on it. We were both sitting there bumming, but one number away. When they called the number, we were like, man. And we were thinking about buying it earlier, and we probably would have got it because we were talking about, hey man, did you get the? And he's like, no. I said, man, I told you to get that earlier. So then he went on and he bought it, and then with one number away. Sinfuls. Mark Mean says they can also see the source of funds. I wired a very large amount for my startup with no issues. You can send large amounts of money, but just be aware of fat carry. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know the rules for that, but when you start sending money over a certain amount, it does get kind of sketchy, and you could get flagged. So be careful. John Allen says, I bank with Bank of America. Do you know if there is a branch in Manila? I'm not sure. I believe there is, but I'm not sure. I'll just answer that way. I think there is. I think I saw a Bank of America ATM there or something like that. So there must be a Bank of America up there. I'm almost sure, but not positive. It's been a while. Dickie Spaz says, every transaction over 600 is now reported to the IRS thanks to you know who. I don't think that was passed though, Dickie. I'm not sure. I heard it wasn't passed. It wasn't fully passed. It passed. I think it passed one thing, but the rest it didn't get through. So I'm not sure. You might want to check into that. Mark Mean, Sinfuls, thank you. What about a house purchase? Hopefully no issues either. You can do it. You can do a house purchase over here, but I think you're going to have to fill out some paperwork probably. So Sinful says, Mark Mean, house purchase here in the Philippines, you mean? I purchased a condo in 2012. So you can do it. People do it. I don't know what they fill out for paperwork, though, to get their money here, or if they just send it little by little. Some people just send it little by little so it doesn't get flagged. They don't have to fill out the FATCA stuff, and they're all set. Florida to the Philippines. Hello, buddy. What's new? Are you feeling those earthquakes all day? My thing keeps going off on my phone, so it's funny that you mentioned that, but they're not close to me. See, Willie White says, good day. How you doing, Willie? Tom Pear says, John Allen, Bank of America is named Bank of Mexico around here. They are terrible. There we go. Lulu55, John Allen, for $700, you can find a nice house with garden in a gated community. Yes, you can. Around here, for $700, for less than that, you could go into a place. This is like what Darren did, okay, and fix up the place and sign a lease for long term, and you'd be right around 700. You'd have that place filled with everything that you wanted, and then after 5 years, you move and you're paying $700 a month, but you'd have it the way you wanted it. So just keep that in mind. That's what we talk about when you go into a place. Don't look at it with the eye of, oh, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed. Fix it yourself, because if the rent is that low and you can just do a couple of things to fix it up, or you can do an addition or something like that if you need be, and you like that area and you want that home, then do it. By all means, because you know what? In the long term, you're going to get what you wanted, and it's going to be where you wanted it, and your house will be all completely fixed and painted nice and everything. It's not your house, and yes, you will be leaving it, but you know what? If it's better than going and paying the $700 because you're and then when it's all paid off, your rent goes down. After you get over that amount that that amount that you have to try to overcome. So just look at it that way. The math is way better that way than going the other route, because unless the landlord goes up on the rent, but if she doesn't know what's going on inside, you're all set. And if you start doing major changes, they're going to know, and they'll probably want the place back after 5 years after the lease. So, but a lot of people, you see what we do for the small places, just throwing a couple cabinets and some cabinets in the bedroom, AC, you're going to get that back after a couple of years. So it's easy. Let's see. Paul says, howdy, Steve. Gary Higgins is just wondering if the Philippines has a helicopter tour for tourists. I'm sure they do. You could probably go to that local airport, some of the smaller airports, and probably find one. Aurelio Ray says, hi, just tuned in. How far are you from Salang? We're not far at all. I'm from Lipa, Batangas. Oh, Laguna as well by hours. Public travel, jeepney, buses. Thank you. Mark Mean says, Sinfuls. Yes, a house purchase. I am a dual. By the way, thank you. You're welcome, man. Let's see. Sinful says, I did my startup transfer from my bank to my BDO for $25. Well worth the security for the amount. Yeah, it's not bad, man. That's not bad at all, See, Gene Lamb says, this is Gene from Valdosta, Georgia. I hope everything is going fine. How you doing, Gene? Good to see you on here tonight. Rory Bellamy, Cleveland, Ohio. Paul Osterhout, 65 days in a wake up. A little boy just come in here, and you probably heard me talking to him, and he shut off my fan, and he shut the door to the bedroom, which gives me AC. So now it's like hot out here. So the things we have to put up with sometimes. And there's nobody in the room for me to tell to open the door. But anyway, so it's hot in here tonight. Let's see, Rory Bellamy, Cleveland, Ohio. There we go. I got friends in Ohio, actually. See, Paul Osterhouse, we already read that one. Sinful says, Mark, me and I see, I would not think that there'd be any issues as long as the funds are legit and can be seen the source. Bertle says it'll arrive on May 17th. We got a lot of people coming in here over the next few weeks because we got some pickups and stuff like that too. Mark Mean says, Steve, in regards to taxes, if I have an interest-bearing account, where do you file taxes? I've never done it myself. I always go to an accountant. Should I fly back to the U.S. during tax time? No. You can do, there's expat tax companies over here that will do your taxes. I used H&R Block because they have H&R Block expat taxes. And I also have I have an accountant over here that I just actually saw today to do my taxes here for the Philippines because of my vlog. So I have the accountant here do my vlog taxes, which is minimal. And see, Gene Lim says, I'll be coming back to the Philippines soon. There we go. Give me a yell, Gene. If you get here, we can meet up sometimes if you want to. See, JM says, if I go for 2 months there, what should be my monthly budget if I want to go to museums and travel to a few cities? I don't drink alcohol. That's a tough one because it depends on the hotels you're going to stay at and stuff like that. But most towns around here, if you search around, you shouldn't pay more than $45 to $50 a night for a nice hotel with a pool. Okay, we have I think it's called Brownwood in General Trias. Okay, and Brownwood is a really nice. Is Brownville or Brownwood? Nice hotel, and it's rarely ever filled over here. It's like about $40 to $50, and it's clean. Everybody that's been there says it's nice. It was like a little hidden gem. So let's see. Mark Me says, Sinful's agreed. Transparency and communication seems to be the solution. Sinful says, Michael L. loving their paper, so true. Bought a pressure cooker the other day. Took 20 minutes for paper receipts and manager signatures. And JP Ortega says, hi, Steve. I saw you at the PRA yesterday. How you doing, JP? You met my friend Rick there. He contacted Mary Rose. Thanks to you. Yeah, he told me to come out and say hi to you, JP. And we went out looking for you because he said you were standing up front. And then we asked some people up front, is your name JP? And it's funny that you mentioned that because he told me to come down and say hi to you. And we did try to find you there, but we couldn't. So it's funny that you mentioned that because we were talking to him. And he says, you got to go down and say hi to my friend JP standing up front. So we did try to say hi to you. We asked out front, for your name, if anybody knew, because he said you were standing up front, but we couldn't find you. So you must have walked away for a while or something. Sinfuls, Mark Mean, fact. Michael L. Mark, use a business level virtual address. Do not use a consumer one. There are also services that can scan your mail and email it to you. Yes, they do that. I would not have all my mail sent to those places. I would use those for my regular mail and have a family member have my cards, my brokerage and bank stuff go, have them send me stuff and take pictures of everything. I really want to have a family address, like a home address, a regular home address versus one of those ones that they were just talking about. That doesn't fly for banks and brokerage houses for some reason. It just doesn't. Be careful. See, Sinfuls, Mark Mean, like I said, paid $25 bank to bank, secure, no issues. Paul Osterhout says, you can get Corona at Super 8 up and buying. Yeah, they sell Corona beer here. You can get it at All Home or All Day or whatever they call it. All Day. All Day sells it. It's a supermarket over here. Michael L. Mark, or use a relative or trusted friend. There you go. JP Ortega, Rick managed to deposit his US dollar 1.4K to BDO with them on his first visit. There we go. That's good. Michael L. says mailbox, etc., and UPS store are for consumers, not business. Yes. Yeah, you don't want to use those places. Mailbox, etc. has pretty much become the UPS store now. I don't even know if they have mailbox, etc. anymore. I think those are gone all over to UPS. Because I was actually looking to get one of those places at one time, and then they changed it to the UPS store, and it became like a franchise. And I just didn't want to get involved because it was just too much stuff involved. Sinful says, I use a forwarding service. The only credit card that had issues was my Capital One. See, Capital One I don't have an issue with. That's fine. Motivation echoes. In Manila, I guess I was lucky. Once I got my card, the second day when I visited the same branch, which ATM swallowed my card. That's why you want to have like a BDO account and use transfer money from the US account over to here, because if they eat your card, you just go into the bank at BDO and tell them, hey, open up the machine and my card just got eaten. And they'll usually go out and open it up. I'd never had any problems with BDO. I don't like having to sign up for an account there because it takes forever, but and some people do have problems opening accounts over here for whatever reason. But eventually you will get an account open over here if you follow their rules and listen. JM says, do you still have to go back to the US every time your US driver's license is about to expire, or how do you renew it? I don't renew it. I have a license over here, but if I need to go back to the States, I can use that over there for 90 days, and I don't plan on going back and staying there to live anymore, so it's not an issue to me anymore. Johnny B. Good says, waiting for no vax visas so I may come on a walkabout. Hope to see you and your girlfriend when I do. We'll let you know. Would like to see some apartments. Yeah, Johnny, whenever you get here, man, just give us a yell. I can hook you up with my girlfriend. She can take you around and show you. We're a little bit slim on the pickings right now because we've filled them all up. But every week it changes. Next week we might have 10 or 20 to show, and this week here we only have a few. So if it's a condo that you're looking for, we can fill that pretty easily. Sinful says, I have BDO also. That's a good bank. I love BDO. Joe Cunningham says, Western Union has mobile wallet now. I pay my caretaker from my bank to her Gcash, no charge and higher exchange rate. See, RLV says, Steve, I'm Pinoy. Karen Darius eateries are my friends. That's cool. Let's see. Toward Jacked. Let's see. I lived there on less than 40K there. For me, I did fine as a single person. I lived a semi-Pinoy lifestyle. It was thumbs up, he says, and this was in Cebu City. Now no vax, and I won't come until change. As I said, people do it, but it's not fun. If you're looking for, see, a lot of people, they get things confused because when I talk about coming over here in a certain amount, it's for a retirement and a happy retirement. And a lot of people are talking about what you can live off of, and what you can live off of and what you want to live off of and what you want to live like are two different things. Can you come over here and live on $400 a month? Yeah, you can, but you'll be eating rice and living in some dump, but I mean, a lot of people out there, they keep going back to you can live cheaper over here, but who would want to live on less than 1,000 over here? For that matter, less than 1,500. Most people that come over here want to live and really live. They want to enjoy their life. There are people that want to live cheap, and that's different. It's a different lifestyle for sure. It's living like a Filipino. I mean, I don't want to live like a Filipino because most Filipinos live below the poverty level, and I'm not saying that in a bad way about Filipinos. It's just a fact of life because they don't get paid much here. So I mean, that's the problem here. Joe Cunningham says, I opened a Peso Metrobank Tagaytay branch through Metrobank in New York. It's pretty cool that you did that because other people have tried opening through BDO and they were told no. Let's see. SC Tsunami, 55 thumbs up. There we go. 68 actually. 104 people. Mark Mean says, do they have the same brand of blood pressure meds in the Philippines. I take blood pressure meds. You know, I just started taking blood pressure meds, so I really can't answer that, Mark. I'm sorry I can't. I wish I could. I'm sure most of the blood pressure meds over here are the same as they are back home. Okay. The ones I take, it begins with an L or something like that, and it works great for me. I actually am happy that it has taken down my blood pressure, so it's working out good. Sinful says, John Allen, I live in Silang, right on border to Tagaytay in a gated community, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, two carport for only $600. And that's not a bad price actually. You know, today we rented out a place to a guy. We actually showed it. It was originally 500, but they're not gonna put in some things there that they said they would, and they lowered the rent down to 300 for a 3 bedroom home. In General Trias. So I mean, and he could fix that up if he wanted to and live there pretty much permanent and do pretty well if he wanted to. But he says he wants to move closer to us in a $80 apartment, which is okay. I understand. You know, I agree with him 100% because it's cheaper living like that. He says he wants to live more Filipino style. So, you know, I show people my house usually and show them the way I live, that I don't live in squalor or anything, and that people come in and like, wow, he's living pretty decent. So Edwin and Helen Byers' monthly income is 2,136. I Can I live comfortably in the Philippines? Yes, you can. You're in the sweet spot. You're in the sweet spot, but the sweet spot's changing because of inflation. But yes, right now that's more than safe. That's actually a good spot to be. Okay, and it's even better if you get COLA raises, which I'm sure you probably do, from Social Security and possibly from your pension too. Bad Hand says yes. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Hey guys, yeah, I was one of the ones poo-pooing the mini apartments. No offense meant, but I really like the big, nice new place for 600. Yeah, me too, man. Um, that's still less than half of a similar one here. Here, yes. You know, the lower ones are small, and that's a given. You're paying for a small apartment. That's why the rent is so cheap. But if you can live in a smaller apartment, remember, I come from a submarine background in the Navy, so I can live small. Trust me, I don't mind living small and tight. But most of the time, you're not in your house. You're out and about. I come here to sleep, eat a little bit. Most of the time, I eat out in a cabana or I eat out in a restaurant. So the home to me is basically a place where I can sit at my desk. I can vlog here, but I'm not here that much. I'm not here enough for it to really worry about my home, you know, except for a place to sleep, and that's all I really need it for. And most of you guys, when you're here, I think you'll feel the same way. Or you sit in front of your computer, or you watch TV, you know. So it's comfortable enough. It gets you by. Let's see, we got 105 people, 73 thumbs up. JP Ortega says, is it important to inform your credit card companies in the U.S. that you are moving to the Philippines? Rick tried to use his card for fund transfer, but the company canceled it due to suspicious activity. Wow. I'm not sure why they would do that. I have my sister's address, okay, and my cards never had a problem. If anything, I've actually applied for other credit cards while over here. I don't have an issue because I have my sister's address. They actually offered me other credit cards, so I said, okay. They sent them to my sister's address. My sister sent them over here, and they're all good. I'm not sure why, the problem. Wow. If it was a credit card fund transfer, that might have been a red flag, somebody trying to pull money out. That's the only thing I can think of. He should have probably called the card first. I'm trying to think of what else could have caused that. I think it was the fact that it was outside of the country and it was in the Philippines. If he had called them and told them he was going to do it, then he would have been all set. Some credit cards do require that before you go outside the country that you tell them. Actually, one of my cards has that on there that you tell them. But most of the time, when I use that one, I don't even have problems with that one. So that's kind of weird. But they do ask you if you're traveling to let them know. So that might be the problem. He needs to put the app on the phone so he can see if it has that question on it. It says if you're traveling, let us know. So Michael L. Mark, not same brand, however, chemically and biological identical. For instance, losartan, that's what I have. is still Losartan, no matter what brand name it is. Always ask your pharmaceutical by generic name. That's the one I use, Michael. It's actually pretty good. It actually works awesome. Sinfuls, my source was tax-free capital gains due to house sale in the U.S. It could be tracked easily. Gail Maplesden says, I heard that TRICARE medical insurance can utilize Medicare benefits for medical care. I'm not sure. I'm not really up on TRICARE because I'm not retired military, okay? So I'm not really up on that, Gail. I wish I could talk more about that because a lot of people ask me about TRICARE here. I do know this about TRICARE here, okay, and I'll say this. There are certain hospitals that work with TRICARE and get paid directly from TRICARE to over here in the Philippines. I'm not sure which hospitals they are. The VA could probably tell you that better, or maybe TRICARE could tell you if you could. There is some sites for TRICARE that you can go on to, but I looked at them and there's not that much information on there. But I didn't really look at them that long because I don't have TRICARE. Jack Eisman says, what kind of accommodations could be had with a rental budget of $200 to $300 a month, furnished, unfurnished? Well, I mean, we have Justin here. Justin just got an apartment. I think he pays either 100 or 120. I want to say it's 100, okay, for a furnished apartment with AC, by the way. It's a nice little place. It's cute. I would fix it up a little bit more myself. It was definitely a fixer-upper that was a gem. It was a diamond in the rough. If you put some cabinets in there and you did a little bit of work in there and you were going to live there long term, that place would be beautiful. Trust me. Toward Jack says, I would like somebody to send me some socks from there. They make socks in the Philippines, but mail there, you are right. It's funny that you mentioned socks, and I'm going to get into this because a lot of people don't realize that the Philippines has awesome socks, okay? They have copper socks and they have silver socks. And both socks are infused with copper or silver, and you can find them here. And they're actually pretty common. They call them bio something socks or whatever. And then they have other socks with different brand names. Some have copper, some have silver over here. And you can find them pretty readily available in SM stores. And I'm not trying to make a commercial or anything about that. I'm just trying to say, you know, that they do have great socks here, and they're very comfortable. And when they put that in there, it kills all the bacteria from your feet, so your socks never smell. That doesn't mean wear your socks for 3 days in a row, by the way, but I'm just saying. Let's see. Suri says, hi, Stephen. How you doing? Jack Eisman says, bank reporting is now law after an amendment was made and passed. It is now $600 yearly reported to the IRS. Jack, I don't think that was passed all the way. I don't think that made it all the way through. So, Stephen West, hi. Tom Chrissy, hi, Stephen. Tom here from Marlborough, Massachusetts. I got relatives in Marlborough, actually. I sent you an email today. Hope you get it. Love your info. 3 more years to wait. I will probably see your email probably on Monday because tomorrow is my birthday, and tonight I'm not sure how late I'm going to stay up. But it's good to hear from you, Tom. I'll be sure to answer you probably on Monday. So don't be offended if you don't hear from me tomorrow because I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, and I'm going to bed early tonight, like about midnight. Let's see. RLV, Bank of America PH branch is in Makati. I thought there was a Bank of America. I thought I saw something up there when I was driving around up there, but I wasn't sure. Marie says, hello, Steve. How you doing, Marie? Suri says, what do you think of the expat to use the PH as a base home and travel every few months to a few months abroad? I think it's a good place for a base. Absolutely. I mean, we have the guys that get these mini apartments over here. You know, the 1 bedrooms, the real small ones, and they are smaller than a hotel room probably in most cases, but they're nice. You know, and some of them are about the same size as a hotel room, and you can get those for about 100. And if you put AC in, or have them put AC in, they're a little bit more. But yeah, you can do it. 13K to stay. I have a question about Magic Jack. I have Magic app and was wondering if I buy a SIM in the Philippines, can I use the data from when I buy load to receive calls on my Magic Jack? Can I use? Yes, you can use the data. Yes. You can make phone calls. I was sitting in Pancake House. I used my data from Smart over here to make phone calls. And my phone rings me sometimes on my Magic Jack when I'm out and about. So yes, absolutely. Works like you have two phone numbers over here. Mindy Noble says, my husband is service connected disability. My question is, how hard is it to connect to the VA? Very easy. You call them up and tell them you're coming in. They'll give you an appointment and you just go in. They're very nice about it. Actually, pretty soon, I think they'll be opening the doors there, even without an appointment. You can just do. They used to do walk-ins. I think that's going to come back pretty soon, maybe in about another month or so. But I could be wrong on that. Michael L says that $600 reporting requirement is only if a business pays you. Say right there we go. People were being paid by Venmo or PayPal and avoiding taxes that way. If you do work, the business should give you a 1099. There you go. So that's the answer to that question. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that because I knew there was something up that it wasn't really affecting most of the stuff that people are talking about. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. Suri says, will a girlfriend stand that kind of stay? I'm not sure. Yeah, smaller apartments, they don't mind. Most of the girls here don't care. JP Ortega says, we're at Berjaya Hotel in Makati right now. He's having issues making Gcash and Grab accounts because they want local permanent address, which he doesn't have yet. Any tips? You know something? I don't recommend Gcash and Grab for a lot of reasons because it's great if you can get it up and running and you like that type of stuff, but everything can be paid in cash and stuff, and I just like dealing with cash. Some people have told me, oh, Steve, you need Gcash, you need PayMaya and stuff like that. I've never used it here, and I've gotten along fine. In fact, I've gotten along great. JP, I would just tell them to use cash. That's the way to do it. That's the way I deal. He can always call me. If you guys email me at steven5975@yahoo.com, I can help you out. With some issues, I can tell you how to get money over here and stuff like that, what to do. Where he's getting his SRRV visa, once he gets his card, he can open up the BDO account. But till then, he's going to be, kind of in a pickle. And if he gets a address over here, then he'll be all set. He can open up those accounts. So it's just best to wait till he has a more permanent address here. That's what I would say. I hope that answers your questions. But he can always call me. Again, Steven5975@yahoo.com, and ask me for my phone number. I won't get to it till Monday though. So, see, Way Moore says, "Good evening, Steve. Toronto is in the house. Now that you have a karaoke machine, will you take requests?" Sure, all the time. 13K to stay says, "By the way, thanks for the information about Mary Rose. She is handling my SRV and my paperwork is ready for when I arrive in April." That's good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that. Mark Mean says, "Michael L, thank you. I thought about using a relative's address. Unfortunately, my relatives are in California. During tax time, I pay state tax. I live in Vegas and there's no state tax." I don't use a state because I'm an expat. And I don't fill out any state taxes over here because I don't have a state. When I go on to H&R Block, I just don't put a state. And I make sure that I tell all the places that I get money from that I don't have a state that I belong to. Even though I have an address, I tell them that's just strictly an address and that's it. So they send me my tax stuff without a state on there. And they can do that. So a lot of people think you can't do that. You can get around without having a state. I don't have a state because I don't belong to any state anymore. Dickie Spaz says, "Don't believe everything you search on Google." Exactly. Go right there. I agree with that 100%. I've had so many people come back to me and say I'm wrong on this, I'm wrong on that because they looked it up on Google, and they got these crazy numbers that they're giving me. They throw out for me for different things, like for the amount of people that are coming into the Philippines. I see people here on the ground all over the place now, new people, and I meet them in the malls and stuff like that. And I have people coming up to me in the malls that are actually subscribers and stuff like that, come up to shake my hand and stuff. And they're all new people. So I know there's a lot of people in here, and I know it's more than some of the numbers that they're saying. So I don't know what Google's saying or what these articles are saying, but I know that they're wrong because the numbers that I've read in two different articles were totally different. One was totally different than the other, and they were only 2 days apart. So I don't even pay attention to that stuff. Gene Lamb says, yes, I will let you know when I'm coming to PI. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, we can get together, me, my wife, and you and your husband or whatever. We can hang out. Maybe go to Texas Roadhouse or something or whatever, or Outback Steakhouse or what's the other one? Panda Express. I'm game for all three of those places. Let's see. Robert in Mindanao says, hi, Steven. I use my MyTello to call USA. Yeah, there's all kinds of services out there for stuff. Some of them are really good. There was a couple of other ones too I used to belong to, but ultimately I stuck with Magic Jack. Magic app has done me very, very well for helping you guys out too. Let's see. Robert Mindanao, cheap. Let's see. Way more. My first request, Down in the Boondocks by Billy Joe Roy. There we go. It has a little bit of that Filipino feel to it because of the boondock word. Because boondocks came from the Philippines, that word. Michael L. San Miguel is good. Jackpot. Love your channel. Thanks, man. Mark Richard. Do they take Discover card or just Visa in most places? I've never seen Discover card taken here. Somebody says they do in a few places. I've never seen a sign for Discover card. Never. Not once. And I looked in Mall of Asia. I didn't look in all the stores, but I looked in there, to see if they did take that. And I know they take it outside the U.S. at some places, but I don't think they take it much here in Asia. Michael L. says, Capital One, the only credit card that declines you for paying off your credit card every month and having a 800 plus credit score. Capital One caters to subprime people that carry a balance. Let's see. Leonard Lunds. I've never had problems with Capital One, Michael. I have Capital One. You can get good rates with them and stuff like that too. I usually pay my credit card off pretty fast. So, Leonard Lund says, hi, Steve from Houston, Texas. How you doing, Leonard? Brooke Snyder is here, Lago, Florida, in the house. Brooke is going to be here in about a week. So he's almost a Filipino. Let's see. John Allen says, Steve, do you think I will have trouble transferring $4,500 a month to the Philippines? No. Just do it little by little. Do that thing that I said earlier, where you do it on Western Union, you'll be fine. Or use your ATM. That's the best ways to do it. I switch it to my BDO account over here, like I said, and then I would draw it on my BDO card. So if it ever swallows the card, I just walk into BDO and say, hey, my card just got swallowed. They come out, open it up, and give it to me. It might take an hour, but they'll do it. But if you use your other ATM card here and it gets lost, then you're kind of in a pickle, but you can still transfer your money over to BDO. So I use both, but most of the time I use BDO. I just find it safer that way. Let's see, Motivation Echoes. I love the idea of semi-Pinoy budget life. That's exactly, that's what I kind of tell people. I can slow down my budget or I can speed up my budget. And it's kind of nice doing that because a lot of times my budget is speeded up because I'm around a lot of expats and we like to do things. We like to go places and have fun. But I can always tone it back down and take it right back down to that, Filipino budget, which is good. Having the rent that cheap, that's what makes the difference. Michael L. says, Mark, American Exchange and Visa, I use Chase Visa and Amex for the points. Robert in Mindanao, Steve, great, you're helping people. Paul Osterhout, gotta go. Stay safe, campers. Zane Underwood, 69. Wiser and happier. Life is for living, not existing. If you are living off $400 per month, what happens if you're hospital care, not going to work? Exactly. That's what I keep telling people. We had a guy who keeps calling me. He's on about 350 to 400. I think he said 350. He actually wants to come over here and live. He says, I don't care about, about anything. I want to come there and I want to live. I says, that's not living, man. It's like living like a homeless person. But he just didn't get it. See, Mr. J.L. Barrett, tell people $1,000 a month. That's exactly, like 1,000 or more is fairly safe. Marie says, Mark Mean, what are your blood pressure pills? I think I can answer your question. There you go. Losartan, it says it. Lisinopril. With question marks. Mark Mean, Marie, I take amlodipine, Losartan, and metoprolol. Let's see. Robert Mindanao says, triple bunk on each side called cube on our ship. There we go. Now my sub, we used to have triple bunks. A lot of fun. Robert Mindanao says, yes, do you have to notify banks when traveling here that they freeze them? Yeah, you have to definitely notify your bank when you leave, for sure. You guys, new guys, make sure you tell your banks that you're leaving and you're going to be using your ATM outside the countries. Wherever, whatever country you come from, especially like the U.S. or the U.K., whatever, tell your bank you're going to be over there for over a year or whatever. You might have to call them, make sure you fill out some paperwork so that they know that. Yeah, Michael's right. Always put a travel alert on your cards so they know. My cards I've been extremely lucky with. Lincoln Dodson, I think you do a fantastic job informing everyone. It's very much appreciated, even by the haters, I'm sure. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Lincoln. Edward Lawler, my USAA card was frozen today, so please advise your bank to avoid the freeze due to being outside of America. That's what I tell people. That a lot of people leave the country and they come over here. Their credit card is the first thing to freeze up because they didn't call their credit card. The ATM is the second thing to freeze up or something. And it just goes right down the line because nobody planned. And those are the things you should always think about, calling your credit card company and let your bank know. And give your bank a letter. Go in and talk to them physically and tell them, hey, listen, I'm leaving the country for a while. I'm going to be gone for a while. I want to make sure my ATM's working. And can I get a new ATM so it's going to last a couple of years? Because I'm going to be out for a while. Don't tell them that you're coming here to live. Just tell them you're going to be leaving the country. You're going to be out for a while and be, doing some work or something. They don't need to know your business. Don't give them too much knowledge because otherwise they're going to say, well, we're going to close your account because you're not living in the U.S. or something. If it's a credit union, they're more than likely to keep your account open because they follow different rules than the banks do. So just FYI on that. That's why State Department, Federal Credit Union is much different than regular banks. So just think about that because credit unions do work better outside the country than banks do. Banks give you all kinds of issues because I hear about bank issues all the time. Get a credit union or, State Department, Federal Credit Union. You can have a bank, but make sure you notify them. So Marie says, yep, they are available here. Do not ask for generic. Branded is still more potent. Excuse me, guys. SC Tsunami, love the fact that you're building a community. Think you are unique on YouTube for that. I mean, it was something that I came up with after everybody was always calling to ask me, I want to be in your area. So afterwards, I started thinking about it, and I always wanted to have kind of like a little bit of an expat community here anyway, because I have some friends that want to come here and everything. And then I said, you know what? Let's get everybody to at least stay united and talking amongst each other pretty much and see how it goes. And now we have a good little group, and tomorrow, actually, we're going to find out how good that group is because we've already got a lot of people coming to my birthday tomorrow. I invited most of the people around here. And we actually have more that I haven't invited because we just don't have the space here. But we invited quite a few. So it'll be like standing room only here, but we're going to have a fun barbecue. So it'll be good. So I hope everybody enjoys it tomorrow that's coming. But we'll see how it goes. Mark Means says, Steve West, yep, getting old sucks. Hopefully the beautiful woman will lessen my blood pressure. There we go. Michael L. says, Steve, I use Losartan as well, 50 mg 2 times a day. I only use one pill a day in the morning, and that's it. And at night, I'm usually okay. Steve West, true, after my bypass, everything got better. Let's see. Edward Lawler, TRICARE doesn't transfer to Medicare until age 59. You will see the expire date on your ID card when you switch to Medicare. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, I will need to keep in mind that a bunch of your viewers are really new to this subject, moving to the Philippines. I think I have been into planning already for 3 or 4 years and know most. Kevin, I planned for 3 or 4 years, as you know. I know you've been around on my channel for a while. I planned for 3 to 4 years, actually probably a little bit more than that. And I started, but into the second year is when I really started getting deep into it. But I had all the stuff written down 4 years before I left, what I needed to do. As I thought of things, I always had a little thing in my pocket when I was at work, and I used to write it down, add it to my board. So when I got close to like around 2 years, everything was on my board, and I still added stuff on there. But I mean, I had all the stuff on the board of all stuff I had to do, like sell my car, all that stuff. Get rid of my stuff just before I leave, all that stuff. It was all written on the board. A lot of things people don't think about, like selling your car, canceling your insurance, all that stuff. If you own a home, sell your home, all that stuff. It all has to come into play, and it's a logistical mess, but it's kind of fun doing it. Because as I checked it off, it was a really good feeling when I get down to the last two or three, and the last two or three were basically, move my luggage downstairs to the front room, call up Uber or Lyft to drive me to the airport. Those are the last three. And I remember going up to the whiteboard and looking at the whiteboard and checking those off. And it was kind of a really good feeling, man. It's a really good feeling when you leave. Sinful says, monitoring accounts over $600, but the only figures reported to the government would be the total inflows and outflows for the year. There we go. Roy Jones, happy birthday. Thanks, Roy. Gene Lamb says, happy birthday tomorrow. My birthday is on the 28th of this month. Happy birthday, Gene. Sinful says, not the size and the nature of each transaction, and the Treasury can't simply declare this measure. It must be approved by Congress. Yeah, I think there's more to it than that. I don't think that was approved this year for some reason. That's what I heard, and I heard it from 2 or 3 people too. And these people are usually pretty good on the information that they share with me. Marie says, Mark, I just answered your question. I hope that helps. There are brands also that have a combination of 2 different kinds of PP pills. There's good ones, but a bit pricey though. You'll be okay. Michael L. Cash does not give rewards. You're right, Michael. But you know what? Rewards aren't everything sometimes. I mean, sometimes cash is king. It does have its own rewards. So, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Gcash is good for Filipinos to send each other from bank to bank. OFWs and family use it like Venmo. I just never seen a use for Gcash or PayMy or any of that stuff. I just don't see it. And BDO has a thing now where they just scan this code. It just takes money out of your account now too. I don't even use that. Robert Mindanao says, okay, off to sleep. Have a good night, Robert. We'll talk to you soon. Johnny, be good. I have lived in many places in Central and South America, like to travel, and I like simple way of life. Do not mind smaller living places. Lived in Luzon 50 years ago. Papanga. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says, I think they charge for Gcash after a few times if you're not in the Philippines or a local. They may. I don't know. I just don't like using stuff like that because I've seen people have problems and not lose money but have their money held up. I don't want my money held up by anybody. Robert M. says, my best friend is moving in June. I also plan to follow next year. Sinful says, Michael L., I keep 0 balance on my Cap 1. Only emergency use. Mark Mean, at Marie, much appreciated. Thank you. Gene Lance says, no husband, Steve. We could still meet up. That's fine, Gene. We can meet up. We can hang out for a while with my girlfriend. Let's see. Michael L. says, Outback and Texas Roadhouse is good. Yeah, it is good. I like both of them. I was at Outback the other day. I was at Texas Roadhouse probably at like the beginning of the month, I think it was, or the end of the last month. Mark Mean, Michael L., we have a Texas Roadhouse that just opened up by my house in Vegas. Tony Curley says, happy birthday. Thank you. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, Capital One 360 card, a debit. I use mine in Philippines and Singapore, no problem, but not sure about the credit card one. I don't have a problem with any of my credit cards at all. Marie, wiser and happy. Yep, your pills are available here in the PI. York, Pennsylvania. Hi, Steve. Steve here from York, Pennsylvania, sending thanks for all you do, supporting expats. 10 months away from becoming one myself. Can't wait. Hopefully you get here soon, man. It will be good to see you in 10 months. When you get here, let me know. Brooke Snyder, I'm gonna use Wise Doctor card as main card, preloaded with both pesos and US dollars. Great conversion rates, low fees, and apparently quite common in the Philippines. I've never heard of Wise card. Actually, you know what? I have heard of that now that you mention it, but I didn't know too much about it. Let me see. Let's see. Jonathan Jones says, hi, Steve, from Conyers, Georgia. We'll be arriving in Manila July 13th for a 3-week visit. I've been watching your channel for a while now. Maybe we can meet up for lunch one day. Sure, in July, I could probably meet up. If you let me know like a couple weeks in advance or something, just let me know. My email address is Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com. And you can ask me for my number on it if you want to talk to me. Zane Underwood says, hey, Steve. Wait a second. I just lost it. Just went up. Okay. Hey, Steve. Just wanted to say hi. I'm glad I made it to the stream. Thanks for all your good and continuous info. I like your Saturday morning vlogs. Thank you, man. Well, it's Saturday evening here, but Saturday morning for you guys. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Steve, you decided to keep your private behind the scenes life mostly off camera. Yeah, I don't show my family too much for a lot of different reasons. I don't think it's a good idea to bring my family into my vlog. I just don't. I just don't like that. Open up my family to. I know people do, but I've seen what happens to them, and they take a. Really, people. The trolls go after your family too, and I'm not going to open my family up to that. I show them once in a while. Tomorrow you'll probably see them if I show a birthday vlog tomorrow, which I'm not sure whether or not. But yeah. See, DL says Taiwan is next. I'm not so sure of that because they've been watching what's going on in Ukraine. I don't think they're going to make a move after seeing what Russia is dealing with, and Russia's dealing with a lot. McDonald's pulled out Pepsi Cola. They're having all kinds of money problems there, transferring money and everything. They got almost every person trying to get into what do they call that? Hackers trying to get into all this their political stuff and shutting it down and everything. They're having lots of problems over in Russia right now. I don't think China wants to open themselves up to that. Brooke Snyder says, from what I see, it's a good idea to have backups for banking and your tech systems in the PH. Yes, absolutely. You should always have a backup for almost everything over here. Have backups for your backups. That's why I say, like my BDO account, I send it to BDO. But if BDO doesn't work for something, I can go right back to my regular account and take money out of my regular account. But if my BDO card gets eaten, I can also go into the bank and get my money too. But I could transfer it by Western Union. There's all different kinds of ways you can do things. There used to be a guy here, and I don't recommend doing this, by the way, but he used to take out credit card, what do you call it, where you borrow from your credit card. And he used to pay these huge fees, and he didn't care, he said. And he used to pay it at the end of the month. And I was like, man, that's the worst way to get money over here. But people do it. I mean, there's always a way to get emergency money here. I mean, if you need money here as a last resort, then maybe use your credit card for a loan, But I wouldn't do it. Let me see here. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, happy birthday, you made it around the sun again. There we go. Let's see. Michael L. says, I think Z sees how Russia is bogged down and sanctioned and will hold off from invading Taiwan for a few years. Taiwan should use this time to reinstate conscription and build up its armamentarium. I agree, man. They're going to get some submarines too. They're probably going to do diesel boat submarines, which are good for using right off their coast, which is all they need. They don't need anything to go far away. So diesel boats would be king around there. It'd be great having some diesel boat submarines back in the ocean again. But there's a lot of them out there. But I'd like to see Taiwan do something like that. James Curlew says, watch a past post on having over 10K in a PI bank. Not really an issue. Just report it. Does not impact your. No, it doesn't It doesn't do anything to your tax return. It's just that you have to report it. A lot of people make it out to be a big deal. It's not a big deal. You just have to report it on the FATCA form or whatever form it's called. I think it's FATCA. I'm not really up on that because I never do it, so I never go over 10,000. But I tell people just be careful because you have to report that if it's over a certain amount. And you fill out a tax form here when you open up a BDO account. I'm not sure if they report how much you have in your account over here. I've never really got a straight answer off the people over here whether they report it to the IRS or whether you have to report if it's over 10,000. My account doesn't go over 10,000 because I can't get a straight answer. So until I get a straight answer, I'm not going to put any money in there over 10 grand. So Mark, and also don't forget, guys, if you guys have an SRRV account and you got 10,000 in it, I'm not sure if that has to be reported. You may want to ask the PRA about that, and you could ask Mary Rose about that because that's also another issue. So if you open up an account over here, you have that issue too. Mark, me and Steve been working for over 20 years, retiring at 50 years old. I'll probably go back to the U.S. just to claim my SS at 62. Life is short. I don't want to wait until 62. I mean, I'm going to probably end up taking mine at 62. I've been thinking about that for a while. I'm probably going to grab it at 62. I'm very tempted to take it. Edward Fern says, happy birthday, Steve. Thank you. Mark Mean says, what is the youngest retirees you've seen in the PI? Youngest retirees. There's guys over here in their 40s that are retired from companies and stuff like that. I'm probably one of the younger ones, to be honest with you. Most of the guys I meet here are older or right around my age. But when I was 55 when I came here, I was certainly probably one of the younger retirees. I never met too many people that were younger than me. I've met other people here that were living here younger than me, but they had online businesses and stuff like that, but they weren't really fully retired per se. And I kind of feel for these people because they're not putting much money into the Social Security system or anything like that. Some of them said they'd only get the minimum amount because they had the 40 quarters, but it was minimum. And then they opened up their online account, which they said they were doing under the table and all this stuff. And I was like, man, that's a mess. That's a mess waiting to happen. So, but people do it, and then they suffer over here. Michael L. says, credit is always better than debit. If your debit is skimmed, your entire checking account is frozen until it's cleared up. Craig Jordan, Taiwan is the highest risk being invaded while DPP is in power. Adam L. says, happy birthday, Steve, from Springfield, Mass. How you doing, Adam? Thanks for that, man. Good to see some of you on here from Mass. James Curlew, happy birthday. God bless. Thank you. Smoky Mountain Model, good morning at Craig Jordan. Hope all is well. Sinful says, Mark Mean, you can claim your SS online. Yes, you can. No need to travel back to the U.S. You can actually, Sinfuls, you can actually go to the window at the embassy. They have a Social Security window there. They actually have a couple of them. You can go right into the embassy and they have it there. You might have to call them now, though, with the COVID thing still going on. But that's going away quickly. I think they're going to, another month, the embassy will probably be totally open if it's not already. So just FYI, we do have a Social Security window here. You can also apply for disability here too, if you have a disability here. So a lot of people don't know that we have Social Security in the embassy here. So just FYI on it, guys. Craig Jordan says, Smoky Mountain Modeler, good morning, Steve. How are you? I'm great, man. Good to see you on here, Craig. Red Ranger, tell me more about the Western Union app. I enter with $3K US dollar and then Western Union myself. 2 transactions, one for 900 and another for 800 for a 30-day trip. Can I Western Union myself via the app? Yes. You can pick it up at the place here. If you have IDs and you have your passport and stuff like that, you can pick it up. Just make sure you have like some good IDs with you. Okay. I've sent myself money to a Western Union, went and picked it up at the place and had no issues picking it up. So I mean, that's not really an issue here. It's good to have a passport ID card here too. I mean, I've talked about that before. When you apply for your passport, you can check that you want a passport ID too, and it's good to have. It helps you. So it's not just it's a federal ID. It's accepted at most places. Mark Mean says Sinful is awesome. Thank you. Sinful says Mark Mean, you're welcome. Smoky Mountain Model says doing good. Only 11 weeks until wheels. There we go. Craig Jordan, Smoky Mountain Model. That's great. Congratulations. I'm preparing to come a year later. Sinfuls, yes. Banks here are required to report to the IRS on American account holders. Yes, they do. You fill out a thing. Also in Belize. When I was in Belize, they had me fill out a thing for the IRS, which I was kind of shocked because before that was a tax shelter place where you could, I mean, not tax shelter, it was like a place that you could shelter your money from the IRS. And it wasn't reported. And then I guess they told them that if you don't start reporting to other countries, then we're not going to, let your money, whatever. I don't know. There was some ties to it. So they ended up reporting all that money back to these different countries. So that I think the World Bank put pressure on them or something like that. I'm not sure how that works, but I know they were doing something to them because they didn't like it. They got pissed off about that. Sinful says, yes, banks here are required to report to the IRS on American account holders. Waymore says, answer for Mark Mean. Chinese were getting SRV visas at the age of 35. Yes. Safe to say for infiltration purposes. Philippines has since changed age requirements to an older age. Yes, that messed it up for everybody. It was the Chinese. Charlie says, happy birthday, Steve. I will be arriving May 27th. Good to see you arriving, Charlie. A lot of people coming, man. A lot of people. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. I was wondering about having a safe in the house. I have one. It's attached to the wall. Nobody can grab it. You can't take it. Good luck if they can, because there's no way you're taking that safe anywhere. Keep a few thousand in the safe. Good, bad idea. Will it open you to lending family? You know what? You don't tell them about the safe. You put it someplace like underneath a bed. You bolt it to the and you have a bed built that has like a door underneath your mattress that lifts up. And bingo, nobody knows you have a safe. People put it in at some point, when not too many people are around. Don't tell people you have a safe, and don't tell people what you have in the safe, because you're asking me they know safe has cash. No, that's not always true, because my safe sometimes has no cash in there. The majority of the time, my safe has no cash. It just has my passport, important papers, important pictures, things that I don't want to get burned if there's ever a fire. So, it's not always true that you have money just because you have a safe. So, and it doesn't set you up or anything, because nobody's going to get into some of these safes that they sell over here. They have good safes over here. Smoky Mountain Modeler, Craig Jordan, if you make it to Davao, let me know. I could meet you at the airport. Sinful says, the Chinese, LOL, youngest retires. Yes, at 35. There was a whole bunch of them. And they all had military IDs, too, because they were still in the military. So that'll tell you something right there. Been traveling right now. I'm making my plans for my first trip to the Philippines, going to spend 2 weeks in the Cebu area. There we go. Craig Jordan, Smoky Mountain Model, appreciate your invite. I will be in southern Cebu province, not far away from you. Mark Mean, U.S. used to be a beautiful country back in the 80s and 90s. Politics been destroying this country. Bring back the 80s. I heard the Philippines is stuck in the 80s. That's right, they are, music-wise. John Fetchko, SS Ladies, showed me that I would break even at 74, not going at 62. Sold me. Let's see. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, just spell your own name. Just spell your own name correctly. There we go. Smoky Mountain Model, plan on coming to Negros to visit friends. Craig Jordan, once I get settled, want to take that overnight ferry from Davao. Red Ranger says, yes, I have the passport ID card. I use it quite a bit in the Philippines, hotel check, and getting Western Union. That's actually what's actually. Jay Curlew says, FYI, I just filled online for SS2, easy. It took less than 10 minutes, so easy. It's hard to believe that it's owned by the government. There we go. Let's see. Brooke Snyder says, inflation coming. 80% of all U.S. dollars in circulation were. Come on. There we go. We just blurbed out. You can vote. Is an online place you vote. Okay? That's how I did it. So you can vote. That's not a problem. They also have Window 1, which is for repatriation loans. They do all kinds of services and notaries and stuff like that. They do all the usual stuff, but the Social Security is one of the unusual things that they have there. So they do have that. They do. We'll set you up for not CMP. The VA is also on embassy property, but it's not really part of the embassy per se. But so we do have VA here. As far as services, they do all the usual visa stuff. And they do Social Security, repatriation loans. I'm sure there's some stuff I'm missing, but you can go online. They have all the stuff listed on there. It's pretty easy. That's the things that they do. I thought 70 you had to take it, Dickie. I'm pretty sure 70 you have to take it. I don't think it's 70. I don't think they'll go up to 74. Kevin Nash's Kitchen. I think what he's saying is 74. Is the age when they expect you to pass away or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood it because that thing's already passed by. But Kevin Nash's Kitchen 99 for 99 thumbs up. There we go. At 100, we got 90 people on here. And I'm gonna call quits now, guys, because I gotta get up early in the morning. But I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. We had a pretty decent, a lot of decent questions on here tonight. But I'm not gonna be able to answer the rest of you guys. You guys can come on here next week, and I can answer the rest of you, or you can send me an email or whatever. I'll answer one or two more. I'm just gonna go down the thing here really quick and just pick one. Adam L says, do they have mailbox rentals like UPS store or mailboxes, etc.? They may have it. I've never seen any here, so I would say that's a big no. Let's see. I'll pick one more. Are you allowed in shopping malls, banks, etc., if not vaccinated? Yes, you can. So there's the other question. But we're going to call it a night, guys. God bless, guys. Take care, and we'll see you guys probably next week. I will probably be on here next week, provided everything, I'm not away for the night or something like that, or if I'm sick or whatever. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care, and thank you, guys.